And now meet the star of our show. Symbol of a treat that quality made famous. America's most famous ice cream treat, Eskimo pie. Creamy, delicious ice cream made even more exciting with smooth, rich chocolate coating. And wearing the label of quality, known the world over. Eskimo pie, the treat you know is tops because it carries its pledge of quality right on the back of the bag. Be sure you save the bags for valuable premiums. Get famous Eskimo pie at our refreshment stand now. It's America's anytime taste treat. Finest ice cream, finest chocolate. It's delicious.
Welcome to episode 5 of Riffs with Doug. Excuse my absence. I had to go on a vacation to get away from all the great movies I've been watching. I got a pair of boots just like that. Mine are orange and the tassels are blue. Go Broncos! I've done 4 riffs prior to this one, and I was getting complaints that there hadn't been any twirling. Funny, my baton is just like that one too. What the hell is this?
Well, there you have it, all you transistor radio bugs. How'd that one grab you? That
Transistor radio bugs.
Howie, for heaven's sake, it's almost dark.
Jesus! Is that her
If you
voice?
don't hurry up, we're gonna be late for the game.
Oh my God!
Margie, have you ever tried to fix a fuel pump to a rock and roll beat?
Well, I'm sorry it made you nervous. I just thought it was a good chance to get in some practice.
It's a practice.
It's okay, forget it. Nothing I can do anyway, at least not way out here.
Well, I wish you hadn't taken this crazy nowhere shortcut. Boy, this is like Lossville.
This is exactly
I
like
know.
law school.
I goofed. And I'm gonna get some help if we're gonna get there in time for the kickoff.
Goofed.
Hey, didn't we pass a farmhouse about a mile or two back down the road?
Yeah, that's right. Back around the curve. Come on, we'll be shorter through those woods.
Yeah, you've had marvelous luck with shortcuts so far.
Oh, Howie, look. I don't think we ought to go on that property.
Look, you want to get to the game, don't you?
Of course I
Then
do.
come on.
Uh-huh. Apparently we're gonna watch them walk all the way down to that farmhouse a mile or two down the road. So this shouldn't take more than 20 or 40 minutes.
Howie, it's cold. It's so dark, we should have brought the flashlight.
Oh my
It
God.
isn't working. Batteries are down and I forgot to replace them.
If she were my girlfriend, I'd hate to think about her chances of ever making it to the farmhouse. Why, sure, let's start the music again. Oh God, Tim Holt. Tim Holt was in Treasure of the Sierra Madre with Humphrey Bogart. This movie will probably be really good. Ooh, Aunt Pellegrino of the Perrier Lacroix Pellegrinos. Let's make like a Robert and Peel. Oh God, please don't let her be Aunt Pellegrino.
Seems like we've been walking for hours.
Well, it sure as hell seems like you've been bitching for hours.
Well, it can't be much further now. Hey, there's a light.
Seems to be coming from that fire.
Huh. That's strange. Campfire way out here in the middle of the woods and nobody around.
Kind of creepy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Hold it right there, both of them.
Hey, Dad, what are you made up for?
You just never mind what I identify as.
I mean, what's the bit? Hey, now, don't point that thing at us. It could go off.
And the gun too. Hi-yo!
Come on now, who are you guys? What kind of a joke is this? I mean, out here in the middle of...
Joke, boy. You think this is a joke?
Ain't you never seen Deliverance?
I'm frightened.
Look at him. It's gotta be some kind of a
Oh,
gag.
there's gonna be gags, all right.
This can't be
Starting
for
with
me.
her. Boy, how can you stand that?
Howie, what's it all about?
Like a nail straight through my skull.
I don't know. Honey, do as I tell you. You edge around behind me. Tell me between them and you.
Real
Then run like the devil.
Howie,
sneaky
no.
like.
Do as I say.
What are you two young'uns doing out here? Quick, don't let him get away.
Run, Marjorie! Head for the car!
Stop, boy. I'll shoot.
Oh. Ah, jeez. Okay. This is kind of scary. So of course, this is a good time to finish running the credits, not when they're walking through the fucking field. Written, produced, and directed by. That's code for this movie is going to totally eat.
Margie? Margie?
Oh, please let Margie be dead. God. Thum thum. Well, finders keepers. The Daily Sentinel. Newspapers like that'll last forever.
Oh, hello, Jim. What do you need?
I need my ever-loving paycheck.
What's the rush? Payday's tomorrow.
I know, but Reed said you'd have it for me tonight.
Oh, did he now?
Yeah, that way I get a couple hours head start on my first vacation in 3 years.
Relax. The girl's on her way up from accounting with it now. Where you going on this vacation?
Someplace that can't be reached by telephone, telegraph, teletype, or carrier pigeon.
You don't think we'd interrupt your vacation now, do you?
Why not? You guys did it for the last 2 years.
Don't make me come across this ever-loving desk.
Nice story you turned in. Well written. Had a lot of punch.
When he talks like that, he wants something.
As a matter of fact, there's one little favor I'd like to ask you to do before you leave.
Here it comes. As a matter of fact, here it is. The accounting department is certainly coming up with much more interesting figures lately.
Oh, that reminds me. They want to see you over at HR before you go.
See you guys.
Oh, come on, Jim. Now, this will just take a few minutes. Not much out of your way. All you have to do is get a few details and phone them in from there.
Yeah.
From where? Carver Street Hospital. Murphy called in from police headquarters, and some college kid was brought in with a gunshot wound. Here's his name.
Why doesn't Murphy cover it? He's on police tonight.
He's busy on the cat burglary.
And that's much more interesting than a guy in a cheerleader
Why don't
outfit
you
with
find
2
out?
gunshot wounds.
May not be anything in it, but you never can tell.
Okay, I'll do it. But afterwards, I'm leaving for my vacation. Definitely, irrevocably, and finally. Do you read me, Great White Fathers?
Only too clear. Have a good time.
I intend to.
Don't forget to stop at HR. What a fucking putz.
Hello, blonde girl.
Why, James Crandall, what brings you here? Now, don't tell me. Let me guess. They sent you down for an egoectomy.
A what?
An egoectomy. They're going to cut out that big fat ego of...
Oh, that's funny. Funny, funny.
They're supposed to anchor my other
I want some
testicle.
information.
Like what?
Like, you got a boy here. Howard Ellison, college kid, in some kind of shooting script.
I guess you could
That's
call
what they
getting
brought
a
in this
kidney
evening.
blown out through your liver a
But I
scrape.
don't think he's having visitors.
Well, could I speak to his MD?
Mm-hmm. That would be Dr. Wilson Blake.
Ah, yes. Blake of the Rusty Scalpel.
Oh, you know him?
I should. He broke into me once and stole an appendix.
Oh, funny. That's funny,
Funny,
funny. He's in his office.
I know where he is. Dig you later, MD.
What a fucking putz.
Yes, that's all right with me, Dr. Thornton. 10:30 will be fine. Yes, I think the whole administrative staff should be there.
You're goddamn right.
Fine. See you in the morning, Doctor. Goodbye. Come in. Jim Crandall.
Hello, Will.
How are you?
Hey, number one, how about you?
You old son of a gun.
Can you spare a few minutes?
Sure I can. Are you on duty?
No, not really. I'm officially on vacation.
Did he just cop the doctor's smoke?
Soda?
Just straight, thanks.
Me and my doctor just drink from the
I
bottle.
bet you're here for a story on that Ellison boy.
Good bet.
Sit yourself down. So are some friends of yours. They left about an hour ago.
Uh-oh, the local gendarmes, no doubt.
Right? Lieutenant Partain and a couple of his men. They talked to the boy for about an hour and then finally...
Wait a minute. Talk to him? You mean the Ellison kid's able to talk?
Sure, he wasn't hurt too badly. The bullet didn't enter any of his vital organs.
But the nurse said he couldn't have any visitors.
Well, he can't. At least not now. He was too tired after that session with Partain. He wanted to get some rest.
Partain is quite the horn dog.
In the morning?
In the morning? But, Talk, I gotta phone something into the editor. I can't fool around on this thing. I leave on my vacation tomorrow.
Well, I envy you. We're so short-staffed here at the hospital, there's no telling when I'll be able to take a vacation.
What did the kid say when he talked?
He told a real weird story. The police have a transcript of it.
I'd rather hear it from you if you don't mind.
I don't think I should repeat it. I imagine the lieutenant would rather tell you himself.
Ah, come off it, Doc. You know Partain's not gonna give me anything till he's good and ready.
All right. All I can do is repeat what the boy said. But I'll warn you, you won't believe it.
Suppose you try me.
Well, this Ellison kid is a student at the university, a cheerleader, an honor student, an all-around popular kid.
You're right. I don't
This
believe it.
afternoon, he and this co-ed.
Co-ed? You mean there was a girl with him?
Yes, one of the majorettes from the band, a girl named Margaret DeMar.
DeMar? Couldn't be related to Sandy DeMar, the nightclub thrush.
As a matter of fact, yes, her sister.
Well, that adds a dash of color. What about the girl?
I'm getting to that. Now, do you want to hear this story or not?
You better on me one
Okay,
more
go
fucking time.
Well, early this afternoon, they left the university on their way downstate to that night game against Southern Tech.
Southern Tech.
They had permission to drive down instead of going on the bus with the other students. They were running short of time, so they took a shortcut on one of those farm roads. Ellison's car started acting up and finally quit on them. They had to have help, so they started walking, trying to make it to a farmhouse.
For some reason, nuts veered off into the woods.
I said, hold it right there.
Hey, Dad, what are you made up for?
What are you two young'uns doing out
That's
here?
his dad?
Quick, don't let him get away!
Nice tackle.
Run, Marjorie! Head for the car! Stop, boy! I'll shoot!
He started running, and that's when he got shot. He got up and he kept on running. He made it back to the car. He looked around for the girl, and she wasn't there. After that, he blacked out. A passing motorist picked him up and brought him in, and that's the story the way he told it.
You sure weren't kidding when you called it weird. I've heard some screwy ones in my time, but this one takes the prize.
Yeah, that was exactly my reaction at first.
What do you mean at first?
You know, from the
Well,
beginning.
Sometimes I'm forced to alter my opinion by certain evidence. I don't know if you're aware of it, Jim, but my hobby is American military history.
Yeah, I know.
I collect historical military objects like some men collect stamps. Like this item that was brought in by a patient a couple of months ago. You know what that is?
A gray Tootsie Roll?
Well, it looks like some kind of rifle slug.
Mm-hmm. I have a cigar box full of those at home. My brother and I used to find those in the woods and dig them out of trees when we were kids, back in Georgia 30 years ago. It was one just like the one you're holding now that I took out of young Ellison's body and gave to the police.
You're trying to tell me that
And if you ask me, they're going to have to dig a long way
you were a
back in their
kid 30
ballistics
years
file
ago?
to find anything that matches that.
Yeah?
Yeah. You see, that's a mini ball. The kind of a bullet they used during the Civil War.
Young Ellison was in the Civil War? She better sound nothing like her sister. Now we're cooking. Finally. Yeah. Except they all look like they're really sore. Except that fellow over by the drummer. He looks like he's having a fit. Grandma getting it on. What the fuck are you doing, lady? God damn. Where's the Bengay?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present our heavenly little headliner and collector of 2 gold records, the girl with the orchid voice, Miss Sandra
Oh,
DeMar.
2 gold records. Oh, this should be good. She can't even be bothered to leave her stool at the bar. Oh, that's Margie's sister, all right.
I wanna be by myself when I cry, and there's gonna be some crying. I just told my baby goodbye.
Well, he's certainly not going to be the one crying.
Get out of here and leave me alone. I don't care whether I live or I die, 'cause my life's already over. It ended when he told me goodbye.
Hi, where are you from?
Why is it everything happens to me and my dreams all explode in my face? Was my own for a while, but he's gone, and I know no one can ever take his place.
Oh, jeez.
So go away and leave me alone. I've got a right to my own
She must have like a
private
200-foot-long mic cord.
coming down with the sorrows, 'cause I just told my baby goodbye.
I sure hope she's done singing when we get in there. Oh, fuck.
Everything happens to me and my dreams all explode in my face. Was my own for a while, but he's gone, and I know
Good evening,
no
Lieutenant.
one.
Evening, Ramon.
No
Is this visit official?
take
Oh, there's nothing to worry about. We'd like to talk to Miss DeMar when she's through singing.
Would you give her something while you're waiting?
Thank you, no, we're on duty.
Well, earplugs if you got any.
I've got a right to my own private
That's one of those microphones you don't have to actually sing into. Wow. This must not have been one of her 2 gold records, and predictably.
I just told my baby
And predictably, not one single person applauds. I'm not paying that.
Yes.
What the?
Sandy, are you decent?
Yes.
2 gentlemen from the police department want to talk to you.
Police?
Who the fuck is talking now?
I'm Lieutenant Partain, and this is Detective Lasky. We're just making a routine investigation. Have you heard from your sister this evening?
Margie? Why, no. Why do you
Is she
ask?
a ventriloquist too?
Thought she might have called you. You see, we have reason to believe she may be missing.
Missing? I don't understand. She's at a football game in Stephenville with Howard Ellison.
I'm afraid not, Miss DeMar. Maybe you'd better sit down and let me tell you all that we know about it so far.
I told you I could make her cry.
Well, Lieutenant Partain, is it a raid or
The other
payoff?
cops call him Lieutenant.
Lasky, we got the Walter
Poontang.
Winch of the Boondocks again.
You been talking to the DeMar girl?
So you know about it already.
Yeah, but not enough. Can you fill me in?
At this point, you probably know just about as much about it as we do.
About.
Why don't you stop by the office in the morning when we had more time to work on it?
Oh, come on, Fred. Can't you give me something tonight? I start my vacation tomorrow.
Good fishing.
I'm not going fishing. Well, he's a real bulldog. He just won't take no for an answer. I guess I'll just hang around.
Miss DeMar?
Yes?
I'm Jim Crandall with the Sentinel. Could I talk to you a moment?
I'm sorry, Mr. Crandall. I really haven't time to talk. I've got to get home in case my sister calls.
Well, that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Can I give you a lift home?
Thanks, but I'll take a cab.
Well, they're kind of slow this time of night.
Well, all right, if you're sure it's not out of your way.
Of course not. It's part of my job.
Giving people a ride home is part of your reporter job? Excuse the Taco Bell wrappers.
What's the matter?
Mr. Crandall, I'm too upset to go home. You know my sister's missing.
Yes,
Do you know where it happened?
just about.
Would you drive me there?
It's nearly 1 o'clock in the morning. Besides, what if she calls you?
If she were going to call me, I'm sure she would have done so by now.
It's nearly a 45-minute drive up there. Howie was picked up on a farm road just this side of Stephenville.
If it's too much trouble, you can drop me at my apartment and I'll take my car.
You're pretty determined to go, aren't
If
you?
my sister's in trouble, I've got to be near her.
Hop in. I need to go up there myself.
You need to go up there yourself? Then what was the whole song and dance about it being so late? Who wrote this? Oh yeah, the director and producer guy. Well,
Lieutenant, we checked that house from top to bottom. Nothing there.
Okay, Lasky. As soon as the boys are through, have them go in and get some rest. We've done everything we can do here. Maybe the sheriff and his bloodhounds will turn something up.
Right?
maybe. Why didn't he take this time to do a little baton practice? Yeah, maybe he's not a transistor bug.
Lieutenant Partain around?
He's up in the woods someplace. Evening, ma'am.
Has there been any news of my sister?
You're Sandra DeMar?
Here comes Partain now.
Forget this guy. Let's talk to Partain.
Lieutenant, have you found her yet?
I'm afraid not. Crandall, what'd you bring her out here for anyway?
I made him bring me, Lieutenant. Can you tell me anything about Margie?
No, ma'am, I think you both made a trip out here for nothing. Why don't you go home and get some sleep?
He's right, Sandy. You should do as he said.
What are those dogs barking
Jim.
at?
Somewhere out there in that horrible blackness. It's my sister. Those dreadful dogs. They sound so terribly ominous. Oh, Jim.
Well, they got awful chummy on the ride out to the crime scene.
Come on. We'd better get back.
Come on, Jim, old boy. Play it cool. Don't blow this. Nice to see Smokey the Bear is on the job.
No, I'm going to check all the antique gun shops this morning.
All the antique gun shops.
How about the kid's parents? You coming to take
Lots
them?
of them. Very lucrative.
Ellisons live in Denver. I tried all night to call them, but they weren't home.
How about a cup of coffee, Jim?
Yeah, black.
Black, like my
What
big
about the kids
toe.
at the university? Ellison's fraternity brothers.
I talked to everyone in the dorm. They like him.
What do his professors say about him?
Bright, popular boy, good scholastic records, level-headed, down to earth, not the kind to make up wild stories.
Well, that cracks another one of our little theories wide open.
Your theory was the guy that got shot twice had made up a wild story?
Some of the other fellows came in a couple of hours ago.
Yeah, I was out with the sheriff and his bunch. And have we got a Lulu?
Yeah, what is it?
The girl's sweater. We found it out in the woods not far from a smoldering campfire.
Go on.
Well, we gave the scent to the dogs, and they took off like Moody's goose.
Moody's goose,
well,
sure.
We followed them for about a mile or two, till they got through the woods and into a small open space. Well, the dogs got about halfway through the open space, and then they stopped. Well, you've never seen so much confusion of tangled dogs in your life. They didn't know which way to go.
They completely lost their Moody Goose mojo.
The scent had stopped right in the middle of nowhere. It was as if the girl had just been snatched off the face of the earth into thin air.
Wait a minute. You mean no footprints, no tire tracks, no nothing?
Well, nothing but this.
We found a hat.
So you found part of a costume?
Costume? This is the real article. I checked it out.
What do you mean checked it out?
Look at the label on the inside. McCord Brothers.
McCord? Outfitted to the military. Charleston, South Carolina.
I checked with the
God,
Charleston
you could drive a
Department,
Cadillac between
and they
those
gave
teeth.
me some very interesting facts from one of their newspapers. It seems that McCord Brothers, the company that made that hat, burned to the ground in 1869 and was never rebuilt.
What the?
It's been non-existent for over 100 years.
So?
This case is getting screwier by the minute.
Don't it, though?
Lasky, run this down to the lab and then go home and get some sleep.
Put all the evidence in the same bag.
How about me, Lieutenant?
Sure, go on home. You've earned a rest.
Well, what do you think?
How was Miss DeMar when you left her?
Shook up, naturally. She's spending the night with a girlfriend. Fred, about this whole mess, what's your opinion?
I'm not paid to have opinions. I'm paid to put jigsaw puzzles together.
I wonder what that pays.
But seriously, what do you think?
I think there's a logical explanation to everything. Two men were in those woods in costume and makeup.
That's your logical explanation?
Anyone knows there's lots of guys around nowadays who collect antique guns. They belong to clubs, they have meetings and shooting contests every so often. A couple of them got liquored up a little, wanted to have some fun and scare the kids. But something went wrong. It's as simple as that. My hunch is, as soon as they get up enough nerve, they'll come in, give themselves up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a nice theory, Jim, but what happened to the girl?
Well, your guess is as good as mine.
Probably eat her, then let her go.
Jim, you know, this whole thing is, well, it's spooky. Reminds me of something that happened in Germany in 1945 towards the end of the war.
Yeah? What was that?
Our outfit liberated a small concentration camp near the Alsatian border. When we took it, we expected to find the usual half-starved, ragged inmates.
And you can imagine our surprise when we were greeted by about 50 young people, all a picture of perfect health.
That sounds a little hard to believe after all I've read of Dachau and Auschwitz.
Well,
Auschwitz?
that's what made it hard to figure.
The fuck is Auschwitz?
Here were these kids, none over 21 and some as young as 5, living in apparent luxury. Good food, complete recreational facilities, no forced labor. Reminded me of a bunch of calves being fattened up for the kill.
You mean there were no old people in the camp?
There were a few, but not alive. We found their bodies in the rooms next to the ovens. Apparently, we'd taken the camp so fast they hadn't had time to dispose of the bodies. But before they left the night before, they blew up the largest building in the camp. It was some sort of a laboratory. And inside, amidst the rubble and blown into a million pieces, was the screwiest piece of machinery I've ever seen.
He likes his piped side saddle.
Some sort of a crazy electronic apparatus.
Side hacker.
And half buried underneath it amidst the rubble, still strapped to a table, was an old man. Just barely alive. Our medics tried to save him, but they couldn't. Now here's the weird thing. This is the part we could never understand. In trying to identify him, we checked the camp records with the prison number tattooed on his arm. According to those records, that old man should have been an 18-year-old boy.
You could never figure out an obvious clerical error?
Their numbers indicated they all should have been kids.
What type of experiments were they conducting there?
We never found out. Even the young inmates weren't aware of why they were there. They never found the commandant of that camp to bring him to trial with the rest of the Nazi brass. His name was Ernst von Hauser. Did you ever hear of him? He was a German physicist, a contemporary of Einstein's.
I don't follow you. You mean you think there might be some connection between all that and what happened here last night?
I'm not saying that, no.
Then what the fuck are you talking about?
Suppose, for the sake of argument, the Ellison kid did see 2 men out of the past of 100 years ago. That would mean somebody around here is tampering with time. Somebody was also tampering with time in that concentration camp.
Now, wait a minute. Let me get this straight. You think that the machine found in that concentration camp was some kind of time machine, and that there may be another one like it around here. Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying anything. I'm just supposing. After all, they never found von Hauser.
Now, supposing you get your fat ass off my desk.
Captain wants to see you in his office. Wants you to bring the file on the Maddox case.
Be right there.
How am I ever going to turn in a story like that?
That's your problem.
Because there isn't a credible newspaper in the country that wouldn't check and double check an incredible story like that prior to printing it. I mean, newspapers just don't do that. Never happened. Looks like Homer Simpson behind him.
Hello? Give me the city desk.
No news on my testicle yet.
Hello, Reed? Crandall again. Would you tell Shaw I'd like to postpone my vacation and stick with the Ellison story? Yeah, that's right. You know that Pulitzer Prize you're always kidding me about? Well, if this thing turns out to be what it looks like, I just might win it. No, nothing new at the moment. I'll keep you posted. Yeah, I've got a little research to do in the library. Then I'm going to the hospital to interview the kid.
Library.
Right. Talk to you later.
Looks like I picked the wrong day to stop smoking fentanyl.
All right, Howie, you can go on with your story.
That's about it, Mr. Crandall. I remember reaching the highway, and Margie wasn't there. And then I blacked out, and the next thing I knew, I was here at the hospital.
And you really don't think, Howie, that those guys were just a couple of kooks in Civil War costumes?
Mr. Crandall, I don't know how to explain it, but I got the distinct feeling that these guys were for real. I mean, like something straight out of Gone with the Wind.
Saying a good movie won't make this
Howie,
movie
what's your
good.
idea of what happened to Margie? Do you think these 2 guys grabbed her?
I don't know, Mr. Crandall. I don't know. That's what's bugging me out of my skull.
Nurse, is Mr. Ellison awake? Yes, he is. He has another visitor, but you can go on in. Thank you.
I don't give a shit. Go ahead. Sounds like my daughter, the nurse.
Sandy.
Hello, Howie. How are you? Hello, Jim.
Good morning. Have you heard anything from Margie?
Not yet. I brought you some flowers.
Thank you, Sandy. I'm sorry about all this. I mean...
It's all right, Howie. Now, don't you worry. Whatever happens, I know it wasn't your fault. Jim, have the police found out anything yet?
Let's not jump to
No new
conclusions.
developments. I'm going up there in a little while and have a look around myself. I want to see the place in the daylight.
Would you mind if I went with you?
Of course not. I'd enjoy your company.
Howie, would you forgive us if we ran off right away?
Now it's
Sure.
time for my sponge bath anyway.
I'll drop back in later. Bring you some magazines.
Yeah, True Confessions and Ladies' Home Journal.
Gee, thanks, Mr. Crandall. Those are two I never miss.
See you later, Howie.
A young girl is missing and presumed dead. Good thing she wore her cross-country heels. Well, he sure is handsy. I used to work in the cemetery. I got fired for making a grave mistake. I don't know why you're acting so scared. I'm the one that's gonna have to walk back to the car alone. What now?
Looks like the typical haunted house, doesn't it, Jim?
Yeah. The meadow where they found the cap and where Margie's trail ended is supposed to be nearby.
Do you think this old place has anything to do with her disappearance, Jim?
I don't think so. They searched it and didn't find anything. Her sweater was found somewhere in those woods. I think I'll have a look around.
Did you just say they already searched the place and that you didn't think this had anything to do with it? That place would still go for over $2 million in San Francisco. What kind of trees are these? Somebody carved a name in each one of them. Somebody with excellent penmanship. Action Jim. Have a seat. Please don't get up. I said don't get up. All right, get up. Roses are red, violets are twisted. You're about to get fisted. What's with the duct tape leggings?
Let's get out of here.
Who says you can't make great music with just a bass, snare drum, and a set of bongos? God, I hope they didn't have to film this scene more than once. They're probably puking up blood by now. I think you can stop running now. Okay, slow down. Ah, they must have got up to 88 miles per hour. The good news is going back to 1955 was like 2 weeks ago.
What happened?
I don't know, but we better get back to the car.
We interrupt this program to... Oh.
Jim! Oh, the car! It's gone!
I see that! Thanks!
Jim, someone must have stolen it.
I would have heard the motor start up.
From a half mile
Besides, I
away?
have the key in my pocket.
While you were fighting that guy?
Well, this must be the wrong place. This isn't where we left it.
This is where we left it, all right.
But it looks different here. There are more trees than there were before. And that fence, that wasn't here when we came down the road. And the barbed wire fence is gone.
Well, she does know her fences.
Jim, we're lost.
I don't think so. At least, not the way you mean.
Jim, I'm frightened.
It's all right. Let me think a minute.
Just let me think.
This road was paved, and now it's dirt. And there isn't a telephone pole in sight.
I know.
Did you hear the part where I said, let me think a minute?
Jim, what is it? What's happening? I don't understand it. Where's the car? Where are we now? Jim, I know you know what's happening to us, and you won't tell me. And why not? What's going on?
Jeez.
Fantastic. Incredible. I never really believed it.
How someone could ask so many shrieking questions in a row without taking a breath.
Sandy!
Jeez.
What dreadful thing
Sandy.
is happening?
Yeah, that always works.
It'll be all right. Everything's going to work out. But we have to keep our heads. I believe our best bet is to follow this road and see where it leads.
You take those ridiculous gloves off now. I think I peed a little when you slapped me around. We couldn't find a period-correct saddle, so you and your sack'll have to go bareback. Well, hello there. What's with the
Jim's
dopey
clothing.
gloves,
I know.
girlfriend?
Ours are just as strange to him, especially your short skirt.
You strumpet parading around 1776 and that?
Friend, what year is this? Where are we?
Witchcraft! Witchcraft!
Balls out, 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 out.
Jim,
Honey, I don't know how to explain it, but somehow we've been set back in time.
but Jim, that's impossible.
Impossible. I know it's supposed to be impossible, but it seems to have happened. Well, let's not try to figure it out now. We've got to get somewhere to find some help. Some way.
All we have to do is find an 18th century time machine. Jeez, what's your middle name, Load?
Jim, I'm sorry, but I don't think I can go any farther. I simply have to rest.
All right. We'll stop for a
Especially
while.
after that 2-minute 800 meters she pulled off through the woods. I guess she does have an excuse. What is it with you and these damn gloves?
Welcome, my friends, to my little workshop.
Just gotta set the
Do not
parking
be
brake
alarmed
here.
or cause unnecessary commotion. You are in no danger. At least, not for the moment. Won't you please step out?
Nice gloves, Fräulein.
I am Dr. Ernst von Hauser. These are two of my assistants, Manfred and Wolf.
Where are we?
I told you, we are in my little workshop.
Little workshop.
And I tell you again, please do not be alarmed.
What time is this? What century are we in?
Does it matter, my friend? There really is no such thing as time, except as a relative measuring device in your own mind.
We're not interested in double talk. What happened to Margaret DeMar? What have you done with her?
Please, Mr. Crandall, you will please remain calm.
No panties in a bunch.
What have you done with my sister?
Your sister is entirely safe, Mr. Marr, and I assure you I did not bring her here intentionally.
She certainly didn't come here of her own free will.
I didn't say that. I brought her here to keep her from harm.
So you did bring her here
Let me
intentionally.
see her.
But of course. To the armor. Come and see here. Schnell! To the armor. Bringen Sie Fräulein DeMar zu ihrer Schwester.
Nice. He speaks English with a German accent and German with a Brooklyn accent.
No need for alarm, Mr. Crandall. She'll be all right. She'll be able to freshen up. He will even furnish her a change of clothing.
Give her the latex nun outfit.
I notice you were intrigued by my servant girl, Didiana. And there you might be. Just a few thousand years ago, she was serving in the court of Tutankhamun, one of the great pharaohs of Egypt. And now, she is serving me. Quite an experience, is it not?
Ugh. This is like a fantastic nightmare. I don't understand any of it. How did you get Margie here?
I was conducting an experiment with a pair of gentlemen from the past.
Hold
When
the
the
cue
girl
card
and
still,
her
please.
boyfriend wandered into the machine
What are you looking
field
at?
of materialization and encountered them. They shot the boy. They might have killed the girl had I not teleported her here very quickly.
Very quickly.
And the two red soldiers?
I sent them back to Shiloh, Mr. Crandall. But it doesn't matter. They probably died there anyway.
Fantastic. Utterly fantastic. Tell me, Doctor, why did you send Sandy and me back to...
To 1789? I admit I took advantage of you to conduct a little experiment.
Everything's a little experiment with this guy.
Dangerous, but you see, no harm has come to you.
Super spectronic relativity. I believe that's what you once called it.
Oh, then you are familiar with my work.
To some degree, yes. I read up on you this morning in the library after talking with the police.
He said you're a major tool bag.
And what did you learn about me?
Quite a bit. I know of your early career and some of the brilliant discoveries you made in the field of physics, and that you were expelled from the International Congress of Physicists because of your theories.
And because you're a major tool bag.
That was a humiliation which will soon be avenged, Mr. Crandall. But go on. What else did you learn of me?
Well, I know that you were a friend and sponsor of Adolf Hitler, that you helped elevate into power in the 30s, and became the organizer and administrator of his Department of Scientific Warfare.
And that
That's another thing that
humiliation
puzzles
turned
me
you
here,
on
Doctor.
sexually.
Why a man of your brilliance should identify himself with a fanatical madman like Hitler.
How dare you refer to Adolf Hitler as a madman? He was a great genius, ahead of his time. The world, in its ignorance, was not ready to accept him.
The world did not accept him because he was a lunatic bent on enslaving it. You call a man who is responsible for the mass murder of millions a great man, a genius?
Oh boy.
Intelligence to examine history.
Strap in.
Knows there are times when lives must be sacrificed for the benefit of future generations. And he was willing to do this in order to lead his people
Into darkness, into oblivion. That's where he was leading them. And like all other power-crazed dictators before him, he failed. Thank God there were people in the
He's
world with
reading
enough
cue cards,
courage
too.
to resist and to conquer him.
What do you know in your stupid, petty little mind?
Can you believe not one Oscar nomination?
You will forgive me, Mr. Crandall, for my outburst of temper. You are, of course, entitled to your own opinion.
Man, this guy
for
blows
whatever
hot and
small
cold.
purpose it may serve you.
Bipolar much?
Let me enlighten you, Mr. Crandall, on a few things of which you and the rest of the world are unaware. Blame for the loss of the war cannot be laid to Hitler or his doctrines. It was I who failed him. Me and the General Staff. He called for weapons, super weapons, to turn the tide of war in those last few days. Because of my inability to deliver those machines soon enough, we were defeated.
I stayed up all night and couldn't think of a thing.
It might interest you to know that during those last few months of the war, we had almost perfected weapons so far in advance of anything that had gone before them as to make modern warfare in all its forms completely obsolete.
Careful, your Brooklyn is showing.
If we had only had time for further experiments.
Little experiments.
I know of some of your experiments, like the ones carried out in a certain concentration camp.
Oh, then you know about the agent machine. Yeah. They had almost perfected that one.
Just think of all the money
And the
you could
war
make
ended.
with a machine that makes people look
That
older.
machine was one of the more primitive devices, like the jets and the rockets that we used so briefly. We were in the final stages, Mr. Crandall, of perfecting weapons that were truly astounding and against which you would have had no defense. A cannon that killed with sound waves, yet was completely silent.
Silent but
A
deadly?
giant generator gun that could electrocute whole armies in the field. Oh, and more, many more. We'd have only had a few more months to perfect those weapons.
Months.
We could have plucked victory from the jaws of defeat. The Third Reich would have endured. Not for 1,000 years, as the Fuhrer dreamed, but forever.
Forever.
But the fact is that you failed, Herr Doctor.
I lose?
Failed and lost.
You are forgetting one thing, Mr. Crandall. That was 20 years ago.
And you've been a loser for 20 years.
I have perfected and even improved on my original weapons. And we have conquered time. Dr. Einstein's so-called fourth dimension. Hitler will return, Mr. Crandall, and soon. Your victory was but a temporary one.
They confiscated her gloves. Those bastards.
Margie, baby.
Sandy!
Oh my God.
Honey, are you all right? Did they hurt you?
Oh, Sandy, I didn't think I'd ever see
Jesus
you again.
Christ.
Oh, I'm all
The
right.
paint is starting to peel.
Let us out of here. Open this door. Let us out. Please. Please, don't let them keep us here.
Oh, well, I thought that was actually going to work for a second.
I have my own underground atomic power supply. Here are the master controls, and here are the selectors. With this dial, I can control the century I wish to deal with. These other dials, of course, are for the selection of the year, the month, the day, even the hours and minutes, and even seconds.
All you have to do is overpower me and...
These
Oh,
are the
scheisse.
acceleration switches with which I can control the velocity or speed.
Come on, which
of
is the velocity or
passage of
speed?
certain relative segments of time. Just as you would increase or decrease the speed of an automobile. Is that too difficult for you to grasp, Mr. Crandall?
Frankly, I'm beginning to doubt my sanity.
You need. After all, there are very few people in the world who can understand even Dr. Einstein's theory of relativity. And my theories go far beyond his. But you are an intelligent man, Mr. Crandall. Perhaps I can explain it a bit more simply.
I love how his Brooklyn accent props up from time to time.
Even let this line represent the world.
Okay, you lost me.
With a line here to represent the equator, and a mark here,
A line that
and
goes in a
mark
circle.
here for the north and south pole.
No wonder they kicked him out of the science
If
club.
an aircraft starts here, this side of the equator, and starts going up and up and up, it is going north, toward the North Pole. But the instant it passes over the pole, it is no longer going north. It is going south. And yet, it has not turned or changed its direction in any way.
So what?
Now, that is the simplest way I know of to make you understand how my theory of superspectronic relativity was first developed.
Your theories make
It is
Einstein
known
look
to
like a
establish
complete idiot, all
that
right.
Time and space do not exist except in relation to each other. Therefore, they are inseparable, indivisible, a space-time continuum. The faster we travel in space, the faster we travel in time.
Relative to
Now,
what? I'm beginning to
let me
think you're a
use
crackpot.
this short vertical line to represent an instant of time, on this horizontal arrow to represent velocity or speed.
Again, with the velocity and speed.
Scientists have long held that light is the top limiting velocity in the universe. In other words, there is nothing in the world faster than light.
Except the speed at
And
which the
yet
universe
it
is
known
expanding, of course.
That beta particles ejected from the nuclei of radioactive substances can attain velocities up to 99%.
98% actually, but go ahead.
Now, I have always based my theories on the premise that there is no limit to space. The universe is limitless. Well, if there is no limit to space, then there is no limit to time, and no limit to velocity.
Or speed.
Therefore, I thought there must be something in the universe that was faster than
I
light.
told you, the rate at which the universe is expanding.
Years of frustration and failure before I finally had to submit to the one irrevocable fact: there is nothing in the universe faster than
You're
light.
about a dumb fucker,
But
ain't you?
I discovered a new ray in the spectrum with a wavelength infinitely shorter even than
Shorter?
that of the cosmic ray. This ray I called the minus ray.
The David Spade
I'm
ray.
afraid you lost me, Doctor.
Well, in other words, while I discovered that the velocity of light is indeed the top velocity in the universe, that velocity need not remain constant.
Yeah, it does.
I discovered that through minus rays, velocity could actually be
The
accelerated.
crackpot diagnosis
Let
is
me
picking up
illustrate it this
steam.
way. This line represents an instant in time. An instant, that is, in relation to our immediate vicinity in space. Now, if you enter a dark room and flip a switch, that room is instantly flooded with light. That is because that light, traveling at its great velocity, takes hardly any time at all to cover that small area of a room. It is immediate, instantaneous.
All right, simmer down.
Now, if that light had traveled any faster, it would have come on before you flipped the switch.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Are you beginning to understand?
I think so.
The plane keeps flying north.
Now then, just as I illustrated a moment ago, with the airplane flying up over the world, heading north until it passed over the North Pole. Then its direction became south. The same thing is true in a sense of time.
That's what I just fucking said.
If the velocity of ordinary light, represented by this arrow, should be accelerated, then it will pass beyond the instant, represented by this vertical line, and no longer be moving in the direction of the future, but it will be moving in the direction of the past. It will no longer be going forward in time, but backward.
What in the blue fuck are you talking about?
Velocity, or I should say, the greater the acceleration, the further back in time it will travel.
In other words, if a guy left New York for Los Angeles and traveled fast enough, he'd get there before he started.
You joke, Mr. Crandall, but crudely expressed, that is exactly what would happen.
Good thing he erased those top secret drawings.
Why are you telling me all this?
That's what I want to know.
To impress upon you the superior scientific knowledge that we possess, my friend, and to illustrate why we would have only had a few more months. We were the slaves of time then. Time was our master. But I have changed all that. Now we are the masters, and time is our servant.
Not one Oscar vote.
Ah, you Americans are an egotistical, arrogant lot. How proud and superior you felt as you strutted through the ruined streets of our cities. The proud conquerors claiming the spoils of war.
Get out of the way and let that thoroughbred run.
It's only temporary, my Yankee friend. Soon Hitler will return. We'll rewrite history. And the Third Reich will endure.
Oh, baby.
For 1,000 years or 100,000 years. But forever. Immortality. The age-old dream of man is ours. The rest of the world will fall at our feet, and we shall rule for all eternity.
Not one vote.
Oh, good. Did you make the young ladies comfortable?
Jawohl, Herr Doctor.
And Manfred, did you see that Mr. Marr had a change of clothes?
Jawohl.
Good. The lecture is over, Mr. Crandall, and you look tired. If you will follow Manfred and Wolf, they will show you to your quarters.
We weren't planning on staying. We want out of here now.
I'm afraid that is impossible, Mr. Crandall. I must insist that you accept my hospitality.
Now, wait a minute.
Get your hands off me. Let go. Hauser, you can't get away with this.
Said I sounded like a coyote.
Jim! Jim!
Sandy, are you all right?
Oh, yes, we're all right, but why are they locking us up? What are they going to do with us?
Nothing if I have anything to do with it.
Oh! Oh, don't hurt him! Oh, don't hurt him! Oh.
Jim, do you have a plan? I think he has a plan. Is this part of your plan, Jim? Jim, is this part of your plan? Jim?
Jim! Jim!
God, keep screeching like that, and I'm sure the door hinges will shatter like glass.
Sandy! Sandy! Sandy, answer me!
We're here, Jim. We're all right. How about you?
We've got spirit. How about you?
Is Margie still with you?
Yes. She's asleep.
Yeah, I'm sure you didn't
Jim,
wake
I'm
her.
scared.
Jim!
What Von Hauser intends to do with us?
I don't know. But I do know one thing. I've got to figure a way out of here. Sandy, honey, I'm sorry about everything. I shouldn't have brought you with me this morning.
Hauser said he wants to examine your
Wasn't your
hair
fault.
helmet.
I asked to come along.
After all we've been through, you must be beat. Have you had any sleep?
No, I was worried about you.
Well, try to get some rest while I do some thinking.
Okay. As soon as Margie wakes up, I will.
Well, looks like I'm thinking for 3. With the brain of a cantaloupe. I've got some pretty serious thinking to do. No time to rest.
Jim!
What? I was just thinking.
Jim!
Sandy, what is it?
I don't know. He wants to take Margie.
Kommen Sie her, Fräulein.
No, no, Sandy, don't let him take
Oh, God, I'm surprised Wolf's head didn't implode.
No, leave her alone. Take your hands off her. Don't let him take me, Sandy. Don't let him take me. Turn her loose. Oh!
Sandy, who is it? What's going on?
No, no.
What's going on in there? What's happening?
I noticed I didn't get her a change of clothes.
Margie. Margie.
Helmet hair ain't gonna help you now, darling. Fuck, I'll never get back to sleep now. It sounds like his cell's on fire.
So you see, my dear, there was no reason for all that hysteria. You've really nothing to fear. While I have never before tried sending anyone into the future, there is no reason to believe that the experiment will not be successful.
Little experiment.
And if something should go wrong, it will happen so quickly, you'll never feel a thing.
So chillax.
Didiama,
It is time you eat now.
you speak English?
Many others before you, they teach me talk.
You mean there have been other prisoners here?
Many.
Are there any others here now?
They all disappear. You eat now.
The other prisoners no teach you talk to good talk.
It is all they give me for you.
It's all right. At least it's better than nothing. Didiama, you've got to help us. You're our only hope.
Whoa, Princess Leia there.
I cannot help you.
But you've got to. You're the only one. If you could get hold of
No.
the keys.
No. They kill me. I cannot help you.
Please, Didiama, listen to me.
No.
We'll never get out of here if you don't help us. Please, Didiama.
I think she just don't want to help.
I bring you food. You eat.
I hope you like Subway.
Thank you.
Sandy, see if you can persuade her to help us. It may be our only hope.
Someone come. I must go now.
Was ist los, Herr?
you cracker some bitch. A little freeform jazz. Or music to kill wannabe stormtroopers by.
Stay away from me.
Ugh.
Sandy! Sandy!
We'll help Sandy. Looks like me this morning, except without the knife in my bag.
Sandy! Sandy! Sandy, are you all right? Sandy, can you hear me?
Exactly like me this morning. Just a sec. Stepping over a corpse here.
Sandy, honey, thank God you're safe. Quick, get his keys.
Oh, Jim, it was awful. He strangled her.
It's all right, honey. Try to get hold of yourself. We've got to get out of here.
I'll be fine.
And I did everything I could to help her, too.
I told you, Mr. Maud, the struggle is useless. You will only tire yourself needlessly.
Oh, God. They're making her listen to Kraftwerk. Wir fahren, fahren, fahren auf der Autobahn. Die Fahrbahn ist ein graues Band. Weiße Streifen, grüner Rand. Wir fahren, fahren, fahren auf der Autobahn. Wir fahren, fahren, fahren auf der Autobahn. Vor uns liegt ein weites Tal. Die Sonne scheint mit Blitzerstrahlen.
You got that machine on again.
Switch it off, Doctor.
Ooh, that was close. Another 6 inches and it would have been Auf Wiedersehen, Mr. Wiener Schnitzel.
Jim, look, Marjorie.
Oh,
Reverse the
thank
machine,
God.
Doctor. Bring her back.
I cannot guarantee that, Mr. Crandall. I have never experimented with the future before.
Not even,
Insane, sadistic.
not even
You
little
don't bring that
experiments.
girl back, I'll empty this gun into that warped brain of yours.
Oh, fuck.
Margie, darling. Margie.
Always ruining my little experiments.
It's too bad, Mr. Crandall, that you are not interested in science. But you Americans are so impractical anyway.
Total douchebags, all of you.
Jim, look out!
What the hell was that? Was he trying to give Wolf a clear shot at the women?
Just don't you try anything, Blandness. Don't try any. That should cut down on your time travel, my good doctor.
And eliminate any chance we have to get back to our own time. Oh, shit.
How about the attic? You searched that, didn't you?
Yes, sir. That's where we found the Nazi soldiers and their radar equipment.
What the fuck they need
Then this
radar
house
equipment
has some
for?
connection. Crandall's car was found not too far from here. Von Hauser's headquarters must be around here somewhere.
That's why he's the lieutenant.
Lieutenant?
Yeah? What is it, Finley? Jim and the DeMars. Where in the devil did you three come from?
Von Hauser's country place, Fred. We spent a very interesting night there.
Where is Von Hauser?
Down there in his laboratory. Listen. What's that sound?
Everybody
That's
look
the machine.
what's
You
going
better stop
down.
it before he gets away.
Lasky, you come with me.
Fahren,
Finley, you
auf
stay
der
here with them.
Autobahn. Wir fahren auf
What
der
machine?
Autobahn.
The time machine.
Why, sure, the time...
The what machine?
Looks like me trying to change the channels on my old Xenobug pair of pliers. Huh?
If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, Lieutenant, I wouldn't believe it.
It took you that long to come up with that?
Lasky, if you ever tell anyone what I'm about to do, I'll have your job so help me. Is that clear? Lieutenant, I ain't seen nothing. Well, I don't know what makes this contraption work, but I think I know a darn good way to shut it off.
Quick! Invent German New Wave. Hast du etwas Zeit für mich? Dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons auf ihrem Weg zum Horizont. Denkst du vielleicht gerade an mich? Dann singe ich ein Lied für dich von 99 Luftballons. Und dass sowas von sowas kommt. Haha, alles klar, Herr Kommissar? Dreh dich nicht um, oh oh. Schau, schau, der Kommissar geht um, oh oh.
What's that? What happened down there, Fred?
Forget it. Finley, call Miller at headquarters. Have him send some of the boys out. Are you two all right?
Everything's fine, thank you, Lieutenant.
Why don't you take the two ladies home? Come on, Lasky.
We don't need statements. 4 dead bodies. No biggie.
The machine?
Mangled beyond repair or recognition. Too bad the big brats didn't get a chance to look it over, isn't it?
But why, Fred? You had no right.
No right, huh? Listen, the way I figure is like this. Sooner or later, some other joker is going to invent a machine just like it. Maybe by then the world will be ready for it. God only knows we aren't now. Hydrogen bombs are enough for people to worry about. Yesterday should be left alone.
Sure.
Because today, the world has enough problems. Just trying to make sure we'll have it tomorrow.
He had no right to play God and destroy the machine that man made to tamper in God's domain. The end? Isn't Sandy gonna sing us out? That was the Yesterday Machine. Thank you for tuning in. This is Doug saying so long from fabulous Las Vegas.